Hello everyone, this is Joanna. Thank you so much for coming back. These are going to be your messages for the month of February 2019. Happy Valentine's Day for those of you who are celebrating. Very interesting energies. Majority of the signs, if not everyone that I've done, has had a lot of information about how to heal our hearts. And my intention is, as always, and I will repeat this again, my intention is to help you see certain things perhaps that you were not able to see before, and to help you perhaps recognize certain thought patterns. My passion is to help you think differently about yourself so that you can align yourself more in terms of abundance. So what a beautiful time to talk about healing our hearts, because February, traditionally speaking, is considered to be the month of love, at least in North America. So there's a lot of information on what might be tripping you up, how you are holding yourself hostage, what makes you stuck in your own inner prison, and what are some of the things that you can do in order to shift and change that, in order to attract love, abundance, prosperity, health, whatever it may be. So in some of the signs, there were exercises that were given to you from spirit, so you might want to listen to the other signs. At the end of the day, keep in mind that we all have attributes of all the signs. So if you're drawn to a certain sign that you're not necessarily one, just listen to your intuition and see if there's anything you can gain from there. At the end of the day, my aim is to help and enlighten you in a way that allows you to become a much more empowered being. With that said, if there is anything that doesn't make sense to you when you listen to it, do listen to it again down the road. I always say these messages will make sense to high majority of you as time goes on. The messages that I give, or the information that comes through, is very much relating to everything that we all experience, human condition. So you may be drawn to a different sign that you're not necessarily listening to, but something inside you says, hey, listen to it. You listen to it, and boom, that's your situation. Anyway, thank you so much for liking, for sharing, for subscribing. Do let me know how these messages connect with you. I am using a different camera this time, so some of the messages you'll notice I'm switching between two different cameras. The angles are different on my camera, so sometimes I look in different places, and if that's the case, my apologies. I am not used to this new equipment yet, so it may not be as smooth as I wanted to, so just bear with me. As time goes on, I will perfect it. Again, thank you so much. I wish you best of luck for private sessions. For private sessions, that information is down below for you. And if you would like to see the longer projections for 6 months, that information is down below for you on Vimeo. Thank you again so much. My name is Joanna the Medium. I wish you a wonderful month of February, and let's get going. Hello, beautiful Libra. These are going to be your messages for the month of February 2019. It is a very powerful energy that I am feeling for you. I'm actually getting a little bit choked up. The energy that I feel, or I'm being asked to formulate into words, is one of an emotional release. And you are my 6th sign, I believe, or 7th. Every single sign that I have done for the month of February has a huge component on healing one's heart. Now, how appropriate, because February is the month of love. And I'm going to spoil the surprise. This is one of your biggest messages. Look at the beautiful heart. And it is being offered to you, or you will be offering it. But it will be offered to you because you will allow it. So this is your message at the end of the day. And I could just stare at this for eternity. It feels extraordinarily powerful and very healing. So there is a tremendous amount of release that I feel that is very transformative for majority of you who are seeing this or hearing this. This will happen over the next several months, particularly the next 2. from whenever I'm recording this, which is almost end of January. So February, March, next 2 months or so. It is important for all of you to understand that the majority of commitments we adhere with ourselves are commitments due to the responsibility we take on upon our shoulders in order to get something or to receive something. So that's pretty straightforward and obvious, right? However, when we have these type of commitments to things and people, oftentimes they go unnoticed. And when they go unnoticed, we keep on repeating them. And eventually we get to a point where the repetitive motion of creating certain thoughts, thoughts are creative, leads us to the conclusion that it is no longer that which we want. My brain is having trouble here because this was just channeled, so I'm going to listen to it and hear what I said. The energies I have with me also are of very philosophical nature. So perhaps some of you like the idea of psychology, philosophy, deeper thoughts, patterns. I'm certainly one of them. Whether you are sun sign, moon sign, or what's the other one? Sun sign, moon sign, or rising sign. If your sign is Libra, chances are you connect a lot with the mind. Well, Libra is all about the mind. The point is that I see many of you are standing in front of this huge door. And I don't know if I've seen this before for you. Sounds familiar. And you're just about there, but you're not there yet. I can see this door, and this door is just in front of me, maybe 6 to 8 feet in my vision. This is symbolic. And the door is open slightly, and I can see there's this light coming from whatever this door opens to. But I am standing in a dark room, almost as if, in a dark room, and this symbolizes my frame of mind. It's very dark, it's very cramped, it's there's no light, it's just kind of blah. And I see this door that ultimately leads to something that is substantially more than where I'm standing. So this is symbolic for a lot of you. Number one, it's to help you appreciate where you're going. And once you see the glimpse of where you're going, it's easier to push through the last little bit. You know how it goes. The last 10 pounds is the hardest to lose. So if some of you have been feeling stuck, this is me saying to you, hang on just a little bit longer, because I feel like you're about there. Now, I feel it has to do with some sort of a commitment. It feels to be external. Therefore, it is either a commitment you will make to something, someone, or something or someone will make a commitment to you. It is a commitment of a satisfactory condition. In other words, it is something that you will appreciate. I love how they're talking. It is something that you will appreciate about yourself being in this situation. In other words, it will allow you to evolve beyond your current limited self. So this door may be an opportunity you walk through, something that opens to you in the near future, something you are working towards, a commitment, maybe a passion that will eventually open doors to you. To me, whatever is on the other side, symbolically of that door, is yelling freedom. It's yelling abundance. It's screaming at me, let go of the fear, let go of the fear. And I'm feeling slightly apprehensive when I'm being told this, because there is this need for me to hold on where I am because it's so familiar, and this new thing, even though it feels like dawn, like it's light is coming in, I'm not sure if I can trust it. So the message here is, majority of you are letting go of old structures, old belief systems, which means a lot about the way you think. The way you think, particularly the way you perceive yourself, is the commitment you have with yourself. If you are wanting a loving relationship, for example, one that is committed to you, one that treats you with respect, one that loves you unconditionally, one that makes you feel good about who you are. You have to look at your experience in terms of how you relate to yourself. All those things that I just mentioned, do you do that for you? Do you relate that way with you? Because if you don't, and you're looking for that's missing in somebody else or some other place, you will always come to the conclusion that whatever you do as an outside source is always unsatisfactory, because no one can give you what comes from you only. Everything that you're after has a corresponding feeling. I'm sure you guys heard this before, whether it's from me or somebody else. Anyway, there is a tremendous effort, I feel like, being poured through me to signal a new beginning, to have the bell that says, you're almost there, keep going. So definitely some of you have been struggling, no question about it. Now, what have you been struggling with? Well, maybe the commitment you have with yourself in terms of your struggles inside of you. Maybe the commitment you have to an outside source, to a job, to a client, to a family member, to a loved one, to someone you don't like very much. Could be anything. Chances are, whatever this is for you, it is sucking you dry. So if it is a negative thought pattern coming from a negative belief system, then you are choosing to let that go. And I feel for some of you, it's funny, you are reluctantly letting that go. And I'm going, why would they be reluctant to letting go of something that clearly is not serving them? And I'm hearing them say it's a matter of convenience. So it is convenient for us to adhere to things that are familiar. We don't have to think about it. We know what to expect. We've been there before. We know how the story goes. We can kind of get through it without putting too much effort into it. In other words, been there, done that, doing it again, no effort. And when we are faced with doing something different, there is a whole bunch of effort that is being required for us to go through. And the level of effort you put towards something that's good for you will be indicative of the commitment you have to yourself in terms of what you create. So this brings me to a very important point. The door that I'm seeing, and this is all metaphors, is in front of me. The door is not moving. I'm moving towards it. Therefore, it is up to me to get to that door and open that door. The door is not going to come to me. So the analogy here is, if you want something different, you have to act it out. If you want abundance, act out being abundant. If you want a loving relationship, act out being in a loving relationship. If you want someone to be supportive of you, act out you being supportive to yourselves, emotionally speaking. So if you are committed to being the best version of you, you have to commit to the work that is required in order to action that person, in order to be that person. And if you are choosing something you've always chosen that gave you something less of what you wanted, then doing that again, though it is, well, easy or easier and it's predictable, you are assuming the role of keeping yourself there. That's the commitment. So I feel like I'm saying this, and I need to say, Spirit doesn't beat around the bush. If you're looking for change, change is required on your part. Oh, okay, interesting. Now, what are we? Very sharp minds. Okay, what are we leaving behind? This is so funny. Not funny as in funny. There's just the frequencies are just amazing. What are we leaving behind? What are you leaving behind? Well, I'm a Libra rising, so me too. 3 cards fell out, and I kind of thought, that's an interesting message. So I'll tell you what they are, and then I'll tell you what my message for them is. Page of Cups, the Chariot, which is one of my favorite cards. And in this deck, it's called Faith. right there, number 5. Okay. I feel this is many of you moving away from conditional thinking and being conditioned emotionally in a certain way as a young child, and moving more into what is truly true for you. A lot of it is about a commitment. So, but this is a commitment you have to yourself mostly. For some of you, the organic message is, or the one of the messages is a child might have left, and a young person, you might be leaving this person behind. This could be a child that goes to college and they decide to move out. This could be you moving away from someone who is emotionally perhaps somewhat immature. Perhaps you have been dealing with a younger person, male, female, doesn't matter, that is not emotionally very strong. You have been helping them for a while and now you're letting them go. So that is for some of you, not for a lot of you. For majority of you, it is the commitment you have either with yourself or in relation to somebody else. There's a certain level of immaturity that is being left behind, and you are moving more into a space of commitment inside of you in terms of what is most important to you, which is based on what is your truth. Who are you? So there's a lot of deep thought and analysis going on here, but it's not a thought process per se. It's not analytical thinking. It's as like the word symbolizes, it's based in faith. It's deeper than logic. It is a knowing, an inner sense of knowing that without a doubt tells you who you are. So this is what I feel many of you have been feeling and leaving behind. For those of you who are in a committed relationship right now that is with someone who's emotionally very immature, you are either going to guide this person going forward, or you are choosing to not be in that commitment any longer. Doesn't really feel like separation, like partners. It feels more, it doesn't feel like husband, wife, or girlfriend, boyfriend, or boyfriend, boyfriend, or girlfriend. It feels more like it's a family member, or not getting clear, something of that nature. Anyway, it is in a past energy, or you're moving out of that energy. Now, what is in front of you? Look at this. Brand new beginning. Ace of Wands. Now, I actually just heard Ace of Swords. So again, commitment. There's a brand new beginning. It's clearly signified. A brand new beginning is just around the corner. Could be a spark that you feel that sparks something new. Could be a commitment that you begin to form with something or someone, or with yourself, that is based on passion. Could be you had a blowout, you had to blow out some steam, you had some anger that came out or will come out, and as a result, the air will be cleared. There's a lot of red on this, as you notice, which symbolizes to me the first chakra. So even though this is Wands, a lot of this is to do with sense of safety and stability. Well, when we have a solid relationship with ourselves, this is where we feel solid and stable within ourselves. When that happens, we attract things that are corresponding to that vibration. So there's a brand new beginning here that's being symbolized for a majority of you who are hearing this or seeing this. But also remember, this doesn't necessarily mean you're going to meet a lover, in the month of February or the next few weeks, but it does symbolize there is a brand new passionate beginning with something or with someone. So as new beginnings go, there's a certain level of mental restriction. What does that mean? During new beginnings, we often have to rely on trust, because oftentimes we do not know what this new beginning will bring us. So remember the door that I was seeing, this new opportunity. This may very well be it. This is the new beginning that you are working towards, or you will be, you're working towards, and it's going to come to you in the near future. However, your work is required in order to get you there. So, brand new beginning. Let me just see if there's anything. Some of you, it represents choices where you will be choosing between more than one thing. Could this be partners? Yes, I don't get this so much in love sense, more in partnerships, friendships, not so much friendship, partnerships. This is again in terms of commitments. Whatever you are going to be committing yourself to that requires your attention, and it's worth your while, there is a certain level of trust you need to assume in order to make this happen. In order to make this happen, this may be a brand new career that you are choosing to explore, something that is very different from what you have done in the past. And perhaps it's because you have become true to yourself and you are beginning to have faith and trust your intuition, trust your deep inner knowledge, your inner wisdom, which is beyond the logical mind, and you guys are logical, and you are choosing a different career or a different path. And you may not see what's going to be in front of you. You don't have enough data. You have not done this before, so it's going to feel slightly perhaps raw. The idea here is to trust. Obviously, use your logical mind. Make sure that whatever you are working towards or whatever is the new beginning makes sense to you. That it's if it's something with outside of you. If it's a commitment within yourself, well, then obviously you know because you can feel it. Now, where is this going? If this isn't good, this gets even better. The Five of Cups to me always symbolizes, if it's in this position, it always symbolizes to me emotional lack, emotional poverty. You are leaving this behind. You are letting go or choosing to let go emotionally from something that you had lost. Yes, that's how I'm going to say it. From something that broke, from something that perhaps made you feel incomplete. Usually this is stuff in the past, but whatever that past was, it communicated to you lack of something on an emotional level. And for many of you, this became your structure, your foundation, your fundamental subconscious belief system that the idea of lack is what is permanently etched on your soul. And this is what you filter through. This is you releasing yourself from that obligation. Now, why would I call it an obligation? Because when you adhere to something, when you adhere to something, it must signify it's somehow important. If it wasn't important, you wouldn't do it. So why would the idea of lack and keeping that foundation be important to you? Well, if that's all you've experienced and you don't know any different, this is your safety and security right there. This is your status quo. So symbolically to me, this symbolizes letting go of disappointment, letting go of emotional poverty, of believing lack in yourself, of having a commitment with yourself that is based on lack. And if you are wanting to attract love, create love, expand love, have more of love in our lives, we have to let go of the idea that we can't have it. So if you have experienced in your past, usually in childhood, an idea of emotional lack or inconsistency in positive emotions, inconsistency in love, inconsistency in attention, inconsistency in you feeling good about yourself. Notice what I'm doing with my throat. I feel like I want to get something out and I can't. Okay. Perhaps you were trained, You're not supposed to be yourself, because if you're yourself, people are not going to like you. And that was one of the ways your parents kept you aligned. However, having heard that so many times, you began to believe the same. You began to believe that you are not enough. You have to be somebody different. And then you begin to form a commitment with yourself that is based on lack. And that stuff will always cloud your vision, as you know. You're letting go of that. So this is about you appreciating yourself more. Not only appreciating yourself, but also appreciating where you come from. Any situation, good or bad, is labeled good or bad because of how we connect to it in terms of what it's supposed to mean. If the example being given here is, actually, what example can I give here? If you have been conditioned that life is all work and there's no time for feelings, then you would have been brought up with the belief system that feeling is not good. You've got to think. Now, we have feelings for a reason. Feelings, emotions tell us where we are. There's no such thing as good or bad feeling. It doesn't exist. Feeling simply is. It's a barometer. It tells us what's going on. It's what we do with it. It's how we action it or non-action it that then depends of whether it serves us or not. Let go of conditional thinking that you are not enough. Let go of the idea that somehow if you did this, this or that, or if you had this, this or that, you would be enough. You're already enough. You're enough already. I'm going to say it again. You're enough already, and start pretending that you are not. If you have a belief about you that you are not enough, examine how you action this belief. How do you practice believing that? Because in order for you to believe that, you have to keep on practicing it to give yourself the feedback that, yes, it's true. So how do you practice believing you're not enough? What do you deny yourself? What do you keep yourself away from? Do you keep your doors closed and not allow love in because you believe that it's not there or you'll never have enough? Those are some of the things for you to think about, but this is all fantastic. Remember, release is one of your themes. What might be tripping you up? Which is my way of saying, hey, if they're going to have any challenges, where do you think it might be? Where can I point them? Well, one of your challenges seems to be that you are experiencing various levels of enlightenment. Now, why on earth would enlightenment be something that trips you up, right? Well, several reasons. Number one, it undermines your status quo. Whatever you have known to be your status quo, whatever you have known to be your stability, enlightenment often offers a brand new perspective. When you have a brand new perspective, all of a sudden everything changes. And as a result of that, you begin to see things you didn't see before, but most importantly, you begin to see where you've been going wrong or where you have been going against yourself. And that means, oh crap, I have to make something happen, because if I don't, I'm going to continue the same. So the very idea of enlightenment, although it's phenomenal because it allows you to see things and be enlightened, it also means that your current state of your own identity will come crashing down. In other words, whatever you have believed yourself to be is going to be no longer, and that can be very scary. Because let's put it this way. If you've always thought of yourself as not enough, and all of a sudden you have an experience, you have this meditation and you leave your body, and all of a sudden you experience yourself out of your body and you go, oh my God, I knew this, but now I'm experiencing this. All of a sudden your conscious awareness and beliefs tied to it go crashing down. And although it's an amazing experience, the other part of you that says, I can't, all of a sudden goes, you mean I can? You mean I can do anything I want? And that can prove to be very frightening. I had that experience. It was not a thought. I experienced this. And I can tell you from my perspective and from my experience, when I was shown probably bits and pieces of what I'm capable of, one part of me was ecstatic, the other part of me was extremely frightened, because everything I was told to be, or everything I was told that I was not this, or that I would never be enough to amount to anything, even though logically I knew that wasn't true, part of me believed that the moment I realized my power, it all came crashing down, and the safety net that comes with it tumbled down, and it made me feel very, very afraid, very scared. All of a sudden, I realized I'm capable of anything, and my ego self began to panic. So I just shared that with you, and that was not my intention. So obviously Spirit wanted me to say this to you, because why would enlightenment be in the position of tripping you up? Precisely for that reason. When we begin to see things differently, our entire world begins to shift. The stability of our current world, which may be rooted in lack, but at least it's stable, you know what to expect, is all of a sudden now being undermined, and that can feel uncomfortable until the new foundation is set in stone, until the new belief is set in stone, until you begin to feel you are enough, not only think that you are enough, but actually begin to feel that you are enough, and then you action that feeling to give you the corresponding feeling. Doing that over and over again creates the brand new foundation. Okay, so what is working for you? Brilliant. This is a message of forgiveness. Forgiving others, yes, but this is forgiving yourself for the things you have or have not done, the things you are or you are not, or the things that you did or didn't do that you hold yourself hostage for. If you have hurt another in the past, knowingly or otherwise, if you are still holding yourself responsible for that to this day, then you are continually harboring ill will towards you and resentment. And that's like having a seesaw coming at you all the time. It's frightening. Not only that, it's very painful. Releasing self-sabotage. What does that mean? Punishing yourself for something you've done in the past and vowing to yourself you're not going to be happy because whatever you did, you don't deserve happiness. We do this. Most people have this somewhere to some degree. So the idea here is this is a perfect time for release. Therefore, time to release any ties you have with yourself or another that has you bound by negative emotions. If you hold resentment to someone, let that go. Release yourself from it. If you are holding yourself, if you feel guilty about something, like I said, you've hurt somebody, see yourself as God would see you, whatever God means to you, and realize that you did the best you could at that time, whether you knew it or didn't know it. And if you had to do it again, maybe you would do it differently, but you've learned from it and it's time to move on. Self-appreciation is what is really important here. When we begin to appreciate ourselves, despite the fact that we have done some things wrong, that we have hurt people or animals, it's difficult, and I'm actually thinking about this, it's difficult because we beat ourselves up, we feel that's what we need to do because we are punishing for the sins that we've done or didn't do. But when we do that, it keeps us away from accepting more love from the universe because we are keeping ourselves in the basket of unworthiness. In my almost 15 years of doing hypnotherapy and therapy work, including this work, self-forgiveness is one of, if not the most difficult thing to do. We have far easier time releasing resentment or harbor to somebody else that we have to ourselves. Remember, in order for you to experience love, you first have to empty yourself out of what no longer serves you. Okay? This is the last card of the deck. There's 108 cards. It's a moment of completion. It's coming full circle and realizing that we are way beyond our logic and our thinking. We are so much more. We are also feelings. Feelings are what brings forth our experiences. What we hold in our heart against others or ourselves, we will keep on repeating in terms of bringing it to our awareness. So release yourself. This is a huge one for you. Huge. Is there anything else I need to say to them? Your responsibility to yourself is your number one commitment. And no one can be better responsible for you than you, obviously, when you're a healthy individual, because only you know what's in your heart. Only you truly know what is true to you. Only you truly have the ability to go deep inside and say, what is true for me? Other people may have ideas. Other people may tell you, but no one knows more about you than you. And yes, it's true. Sometimes people know us more than we know ourselves. But when we make a commitment to know ourselves better, no one knows us more than we know ourselves. Okay? And I'm not sure why I said this, but this is how I'm going to leave this with you. So, incredible month for healing, February. It is the month of love. I wish you nothing but happiness and joy. And if you do celebrate Valentine's Day, I wish you wonderful celebration. Please take care of yourself, not only on Valentine's Day, but always. Decide what your current commitment is to yourself, and if you're not happy with it, change it, okay? And if you would like to comment how these messages connect with you, I would love to read that. I always do. And of course, for private sessions, that information is down below. Thank you for sharing, for liking, for subscribing. This means a lot to me. I wish you best of luck. Much love to you, and see you soon.